afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for March 9th, Tuesday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a time for change call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. I'm going to be covering a lot of ground. Might want to bring something to write with. Also, I'm scheduled to be on a call, Mark Z call, addressing the celestial chambers and differentiating them from the med beds. So I'm supposedly supposed to be on that at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 6 p.m. Eastern. I don't have a number access yet, so I can't give anything out, but it's the Mark Z podcast call, I believe. And that's at 6 p.m. Eastern today. Not on this line, on his line. So you may know how to get there. Remember, understand that you are not your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. Just notice who or what is watching these thoughts. This conscious witness is a pointer to who you really are. Those whirling dust storms of ideas may be distracting you from hearing the divine hum of your innermost being. Keep watching the watcher, and the dust will settle. Keep watching the watcher. Just notice who or what is watching these thoughts. And you'll definitely be able to get the dust to settle. Because none of us are our thoughts. Oftentimes, I think people think that they are their thoughts, but they're not. And the more we start to understand that, so you're watching the watcher who watches the thoughts. So you're watching the watcher. So it's the God that's watching the watcher. Each of us are the Supreme Being. You are the Supreme Being. And yet, thinking yourself to be separate from it, you strive to become united with it. Ramana. It's all about manifesting. It's all about moving energy into form, creating it into reality. It is a science. It is a mastership, which just about everyone on this planet has not achieved. And manifesting is the science of attracting what you want into your life with effortless ease and joy, not hard, structured, hectic, drive, scratch, climb. It is based on universal energies, which states that the like attracts like. Okay? It's even when you say you don't want something, that will attract like. So what you don't want, you will get. And the frequency that you use is your voice or your thoughts. The specific frequency of energy we create on our inner world must be matched by our outer world. You can't, to try to be happy on the surface is not going to cut it when underneath you're not, with inside you're not. If we are feeling positive and happy, we will magnetize circumstances and people that mirror those positive qualities back to us through the power of placing our attention on the intention, placing our attention on the intention of what we wish to manifest, and feel it as if it is already here now. Not faking it, not fake it feeling, but feel it is if it is already here now. We can effortlessly attract anything we can imagine on our outer world. The reality of this basic manifesting principle may feel unreal, outrageous, or ridiculous miraculously for you. Yet it is the law that governs the universe we all live in. By summoning feelings of great joy, mixed with the sensation that your desire has already come to fruition, you can actually watch your hidden desires spontaneously show up in your world. Spontaneously show up in your world. And for example, if you're continuously feeling, thinking, and vibrating like a billionaire, 24 hours a day, and never having any other ideas than this, you're bound to attract people who have millions to the bank to you. Or perhaps you will create a situation in which this magnitude of money will physically show up in your life in some form. The millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire vibration you send out has to boomerang its way back to you. And large amounts of money must organically find a way to sneak into your life. What happens to just about 99% is the ego mind interrupts, intervenes, and it's the doubt, the lack of trust that we have with ourselves. That's why most of the time never happens. No matter what you do, it never comes into fruition. So what we think about and how we think about it is what the universe yearns to unfold and develop for us. It truly has no other choice. It is the foundational law and core principle of all creation. The vast empty field of energy all around us yearns to fill it with the ideas and desires bubbling up inside of our hearts and minds. Manifesting as a natural power we were all born with, and we can never, ever lose. It will be how our body and mind operates in this world until the day we leave the body. The people who are aware of these manifesting laws and align their life with them are the ones who experience outrageous success in their lives in extremely short periods of time. We've witnessed that. You see it on occasion. It's good to know that we all have access to this power, this manifesting power, equally. No one any better than anybody else, all even and equal for each and every one of us. No human was born with more manifesting power than another. Some people just have trained their mind to focus more acutely and are able to hold their awareness on what they desire for a longer period of time. The majority don't. It's very sporadic. It's very short-lived because of their lack of trust, lack of confidence through the heart mind, and being ruled by the ego mind. It'll stop them every single time, dead in the tracks. And another law of manifesting states that the length of time one can hold their attention on their intention, holding your attention on your intention is proportional to how long it will take for that desire to show up in the physical world. So, for example, if you can hold your mind on the feeling that you already are financially free for 4 minutes without having any other random thoughts enter, you will manifest the money twice as fast as if you could only hold your attention span for 2 minutes. And what happens with that is because you're not focused, we are not in the now, and we are flailing all over the place with the ego mind and tens of thousands of thoughts. One of the manifesting laws that many people are not aware of is that we gain immediate full access to our deepest manifesting powers when we release all doubt and disbelief around the intimate spiritual connection we have with existence. Doubts serve as a barricade, and most of us end up generating doubts and stop the positive energy from flowing through. This is with anything. As well, they leak negative energy into our system. The less doubt we have inside, the easier it becomes to feel we deserve to receive the end result we wish to manifest. Doubt, however, is not so easily erased by free will. We must discover something deeper than doubt to uproot its grasp on our lives. We must realize our spiritual connection with the universe. Learn how to feel at one with everyone and everything, including doubt. Learn how to feel at one with everyone and everything, including doubt. We must choose to mentally, emotionally, and physically unite with every energy in this world. The more relaxed we are on the inside, the easier it becomes to harness the creative energy that is all around us and connecting everyone and everything in our lives. It may seem like a big fabricated lie, yet material desires are designed to find their way into our lives with precision and effortless ease. When we stop believing in the illusion of apparent separation and know on a quantum metaphysical level that we are living in one great ocean of conscious energy, we open the energetic manifesting gates in the path before us. As long as we feel disconnected from the universe feels separate from us. It always mirrors back to us what we are putting out into it. It honors our response to it, reflected to us whatever choice in perception we are making. It cannot break this great law of like attracts like. The universe will not withhold our desired outcome from showing up as long as we continue maintaining a feeling of separation from it. It will withhold our desired outcome from showing up as long as we continue maintaining a feeling of separation from it. When we give our attention, we give our soul. One moment of pure attention is worth a pound of gold. Lisa Guyman. Another foundation of the law of manifestation, which will turn you into a manifesting magnet, is this. We cannot stop manifesting. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are constantly creating everything around us. We were born as extremely powerful manifesting magnets who are already forming every aspect in our lives through our beliefs about what is real and what is not real. Whether we are consciously choosing these beliefs or regurgitating them unknowingly, reality listens to what we believe is true. Reality listens to what we believe is true. The more you can honor this truth, the more amazing your life will become. Just spend a few minutes a day with this feeling that you are a manifesting magnet and cannot stop manifesting. This isn't a figment. It's a literal. It's the truth. You cannot stop manifesting. You never will. We are not created that way. Feel into this idea so often that it sinks completely into the deepest belief system within you. You will soon find its truth showing up in every aspect of your day. We can retrain ourselves to believe in any version of reality, since we are supreme reality, if we want it bad enough. We simply need to be more honest with ourselves about how stuck we may feel in our lives. It is our pain that ultimately motivates and inspires us to bring about enormous deep change. When everything is going smoothly, we have no deeper yearning to shape-shift our belief system. It is only when we feel into our deepest pain that we yearn to remember just how amazing, lovable, and powerful we truly are. If you felt challenged with this idea of that you are a powerful manifesting being, and simply do not believe anyone can create anything they desire at any time, then you are creating exactly that world for yourself right now. We define our limitations of what we are capable of creating in each new moment of this journey. Our reality is continuously being formed and shaped around us, and our thoughts are constantly molding themselves into the form of our reality. Thoughts are always flowing. I think we all know that. Moving and creating our experience of life in each new moment. Each moment of life is so fresh and new that it behaves much like a blank canvas that you can paint anything you want on it. You could suddenly choose to paint a sailboat and imagine it taking you into a new direction of your life by pointing your inner rudder towards an entirely new dream destination and life goal. You could choose to give up years of financial struggle, shift into thinking, feeling, and becoming a highly effective manifester in just a few minutes. Be merely holding your attention on integrating this manifesting mindset without a single doubt entering, you will rewire the neuronal pathways in your brain and begin amplifying the manifesting magnet hidden within you. When your entire being is completely alert and relaxed, feeling sweetly centered in the core of your body, the mind becomes very quiet, very, very, very still. When you can relax enough and let a continuous river of confident, peaceful feelings come flooding inside, you'll start to realize how you are already attracting and creating your dream life. Then you can feel into your deepest connection with life, where the most intimate personal realization is discovered that this enormous manifesting power is your very nature. From this paradigm, you know there is an unlimited amount of energy all around you, and anything is possible. There is enough energy in a single cubic meter of space. And I've said this before, and it should be really absorbed and understood. There is enough energy in a single cubic meter of space to boil all the oceans in the world. The problem we each encounter in manifesting our dream life is that the mind actually enjoys getting caught up in the world of distractions. It reveals and revels in the dramas that have some form or lack and limitation. It loves having excuses and fears to overcome, as well as doubts, disbelief, and worry to rise beyond. The mind tends to ignore our real power because if it didn't, we would have to stop feeling part of society and be an outcast, feeling excluded from the powerless trip that a majority of people on this planet seem to linger in. And ultimately, the mind doesn't want to become too much like the black sheep who doesn't fit in with your community of people who get you, as that is not a safe form of survival. This blinded mind is resistant to seeing how the universe is constantly working for us and not against us. This is another huge law to realize and abide to. This life is inherently benevolent and has this natural tendency to send an abundance of good things your way. The mind will not always see it, and some minds cannot see it at all. Yet life is always working to help you grow, evolve, and mature along your spiritual path. Perhaps you may have forgotten This is why you are here and got caught playing in the world of trying to manifesting things and overcome doubt. When this concept becomes a self-realized way of being in your life, miraculous things will begin showing up from nowhere. If you feel you are ready to totally break free from all limiting mindsets and transcending all stuck, old-fashioned beliefs around manifesting, then we have 6 principles that will be very useful to adopt into your daily life. Simply digesting and implementing these basic manifesting principles will shift your consciousness, make you a huge difference in your ability to create the life you yearn to have. The first one, stop trying to manifest. Stop trying to manifest. Realize that you already are a super powerful manifesting machine. So you don't have to try so hard to manifest what you want. Just relax, enjoy the ride, and allow your desires to unfold on their own accord. You have no expectations, you have no attachments. Like anything in this world, if we are gripping on too tightly and trying too hard, we are living without trust and obscure the goal-making life much more challenging than it truly is. Trying comes from hoping, which eventually leads to hopelessness and desperation. Trying comes from hoping, which eventually leads to hopelessness and desperation, struggle, and fruitless results. The trying energy contains the ingredients of fear, insecurity, and a feeling of lack in this divine connection within you. The manifesting magician is you, in you, is powerful because he or she is relaxed, trusting, and knows the core is already perfectly aligned with this divine creative connection. There is no doubt, hesitation, or anxiety inside. There is only the deep knowing and belief in the law of attraction. Positive outcomes on the outer result from positive feelings on the inner. When we follow this magical formula, our lives can only develop greater wisdom, love, abundance, and freedom. And number 2, power is a choice. Power is a choice. Don't be afraid to use your manifesting power because it is needed on your path to find true freedom. Real freedom is not available for those who deny their power and choose to remain in their own internal prison. The people who are living the life of their dreams are doing so because they chose to empower themselves by believing in their dream. A very firm decision was made inside themselves that this one life is not going to last forever, and they must take advantage of this creative opportunity while it is here. Only from a conscious, empowered place can we open up to receiving the most rich, loving, abundant, healing experiences this life has to offer. And number 3, you are already intimately connected. Success in this life can only manifest through being connected to the one universal source. All failure, poverty, and sickness in this life comes from feeling and thinking you are separate from this one source. When the mind ego gets in the way, believing it is superior or inferior, it blocks the manifesting flow of energy. Manifesting comes naturally and effortlessly to those who are not creating a division in themselves, thinking any part of them is unloved, unwanted, abandoned, or unworthy of success on any level. Any part of them. The moment we separate ourselves, we negate our connection to Source and meet head-on with strife and struggle. Feeling connected to the one universal God Source is the foundational ingredient needed for becoming a master of manifesting. From the master's perspective, desires may manifest or they may not manifest. And if reality doesn't matter, and it really doesn't matter. The master doesn't care so much about the desired physical outcome because the real goal to feel connected with the God right now is always the same. Enjoy this moment and be happy. The essential goal of life is to be happy. When you are aligned with this, life aligns with us. Magical things manifest when we are deeply, deeply, deeply happy inside of us with who we are, exactly the way we are, and the way our life is. When we are not attached to thinking that manifesting our desires is then going to make us happy, then we are free. Understand that. When we are not attached to thinking that manifesting our desires is then going to make us happy, then we are free. The manifesting master inside us knows, of course, that we may become momentarily happy when a desire manifests, yet this happiness is minuscule compared to the deeply loving sensation of being connected to the infinite source within. Be detached from the outcome. Be detached from the outcome. When you are attached to a certain outcome to bring you happiness, you are coming from a fearful, needy place and ultimately feeling disconnected to your source. When you are simply relaxed with yourself at home, in your being, able to rest in your heart, you naturally feel connected with your source. This spiritual connection is already the foundation of your being, and finding mastery within it is simply realizing what you already always are. The divine connection really boils down to a moment-to-moment choice in life. In this life, you are always choosing in each moment if you are or aren't connected. You are always choosing if you're coming from trust or fear. Your entire reality is defined in this now moment. You can choose to be happy, feel deeply at peace, empowered and grateful for your life just as it is. You are the eternal choice maker of how you interpret the feelings arising in you and the thousands of thoughts passing through you. Attachment is the most powerful way to stop your desires from manifesting. Attachment is happening every time your body feels tense, tight, stressed, confused, upset, or grumpy. Every time you are not experiencing great joy, you are attached to something. It will feel like you are swimming against the river, upstream fighting the current, trying to force something to happen by pure will alone. What's the payoff you're getting for remaining attached to these desires, dreams, or beliefs? Find out what it takes to let go and trust in the divine process of this life. Whenever you feel anything that is not connected to ease and joy, just ask yourself this simple question: what am I attached to? Your freedom and enlightenment is as simple as that. And finally, know that you are beyond all desire. Know that you are beyond all desire. To fully master the world of manifesting starts with a test of how well you can have a burning desire for something, yet not get lost in the fire of that desire. It's like walking the fine edge between living in this world, yet not of this world. Living in this world, but not of this world. The secret to walking this edge is relaxing into this pure, untainted awareness that is looking through your eyes and listening through your ears. This is your only hope for freedom, as it can become very easy to get consumed in the excitement, thrill, fear, and wild energy that surrounds your desires. We all want to feel truly alive. And when desire hits us, everything lights up. Yet, it is the real master who can feel the fire, honor the passionate heat, and not get cooked by the intensity of the juicy outcome or what you expect will manifest. The master chooses instead to be constantly warmed and nourished by the warm, pulsating heart of the great source within. Feel ecstatic that there is no end to this life. That when you have reached on one peak, suddenly another peak starts giving you challenges, a higher one, a more arduous climb, a more dangerous reach, and when you will have reached the other peak, another peak, peaks upon peaks. It is an eternal Himalayas of life. Osho. The most interesting dimension to shifting our consciousness is within the melting and merging of polar opposite experience. When we feel our deepest connection to the source, we are also allowing our worst limiting feelings and beliefs to arise. It's always in our darkest hour when the brightest light shines in. The change in perception hits us when we are no longer fixated on a polarizing perspective, meaning the instant we detach from gripping onto a harsh experience, we create space for gentle, healing feelings to flow in. It is in this meeting of opposites, the melting of polarity, that we transcend all absolutes and discover what real freedom is about. So the invitation for you here is recognize the enlightened manifesting master inside you and step into playing this role in your life. Find out what is stopping you from taking your next step into becoming truly free. What will it take to follow these principles above and begin to live the laws of manifesting? Play with your beliefs. Notice which ones you are attached to. Hold on to throughout your day. Get to know yourself, understand what is causing all the suffering in your life. If perhaps you don't know what this is, you seek out what you are attached to. What limiting thoughts, beliefs, and feelings do you have around these attachments? When you find what's causing the most pain in your life, you can liberate yourself from it. You will see that behind every experience of suffering, some form of attachment is found. Beware of attachments. Yet more importantly, be aware of where they come from. When you investigate, you may find there are many, many, many tiny little desires and attachments to those desires, which are running your entire life. And the good news is that the more you are aware of these attachments, the easier it is to step back from them and not buy into their story. Freedom from attachment is what gives you tons of extra energy and focus to consciously manifest your desires. Once you're truly detached from all fiery desired outcomes, you will never become upset, irritable, and unhappy with the world. Now, it's very important to remember that being detached does not mean being disconnected or not caring about your future. This is a very fine line to walk, and learning to dance along it is what makes you a master. After the day is done, it all comes down to how deep do you feel connected to this one universal source that is creating who you truly are, living 24 hours a day from that all-loving space. You won't need to be attached to any outcome to find happiness. You will be the source of happiness itself. Then manifesting your desires for money, love, car, house, relationships, and so on, all occurs effortlessly on its own accord because you are at one with the source within itself. You are born with a tremendous possibility of intelligence. You are born with a light within you. Listen to the still small voice within, and that will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. You are utterly irreplaceable. Osho. So in this meditation, focus on what I've shared. Focus it with you. This is your gateway to a whole different existence. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I am sure that we all are. Always the first step, relaxing the body. Letting go, surrendering, forgiving. It's a process. Whatever it is you're attached to, holding on to with dear life, whatever your doubts are, fears are, anxieties, stresses, angers, whatever they are, usually they're with yourself. Let them go. Eliminate attachments. And like I said, it's not disconnecting from everything. That's the fine line. You're not attached. You have confidence within yourself through the heart, mind, and the God that you are, the universal source, that whatever it is you desire, you have already set in motion. And then you leave it alone. You're not concerned about all of this stuff. You're the master. You're the orchestrator. Each of us are. We're all equally powerful. So when you do that and you understand that you're the master of the body, so you direct. And so you release. And so the body releases. And the body relaxes. You're literally sitting and easing into the God that you are. You have no doubt that the God will hold you and catch you as you fold back. And all that stuff that we've attached ourselves to vaporizes, gone. No need. Why would you attach yourself to so many things where you're constantly struggling and suffering, whether you're aware of it or not? So as the body eases into the God that you are and is relaxed from head to toe, then we move into the now. And the now is absolutely magical because it stills our ego and mind and subconscious mind. It eliminates all that chatter and noise that we listen to all the time. Tens of thousands of thoughts, endlessly. So we leave the mind and the ego. We step outside of them. And we move beyond the watcher and become the watcher of the watcher. So the God within you is watching you watch you. And you begin to learn that there are no attachments. Attachments are struggling and suffering. So your attention is on your intention. And you just let it go. There's nothing that can disturb you unless you allow it. So in the now, a lot of us will, sometimes we get reminiscing and we have memories, which is great, and then we go into the past. Remember, the past is an elephant graveyard, old carcasses, bones, and it's totally inert. It's dead. But some of us, we'll reminisce. It's great. It's wonderful to revisit, and then we don't stay there. But some do. Some will stay there to the point where they end up taking that past, bringing it into a future that doesn't exist, creating that future from that past, and reliving that past in that future. This is why people will go, no matter what I do, it seems like it's kind of strange that I always end up in the same place. That's why. Then some of us are going to the future, and we wander in the future, which is, it's not a bad thing. But some of us will say, I wonder when this is going to happen, and when is that going to happen? And I got to find out about when this is going to happen. And when am I going to meet this person? And when am I going to have this money? And when am I going to do this? And when am I going to feel better? And see, we do that, but we don't stay there. We stay there. It is just endless frustration and exasperation and struggle. So the now is the only place to be. The space between heartbeats. Whatever it is you're doing, moment to moment, the now. How do we stay in the now? Well, these thoughts will come floating in, and it doesn't, this is what happens. You're focused, but then you find you can be focused right on it, and then you find yourself floating off in these thoughts. But the key is that you're consciously aware of that. It isn't a bad thing. So you say, okay, so I'm floating off in these thoughts, so I'll focus on my breath. And my breath is divine positive energy because it sustains the vessel that houses the kingdom of God within it. It focuses me, it relaxes me, it eases me, it strengthens me. It motivates me. So when I focus on my breath, this divine positive energy, I'm in the now. Every single time. Absolute guarantee. And if you practice it, when you practice it enough, it's autopilot. Thought comes in, you might go wandering off thought briefly, and you literally focus on your breath and you're in the now. So we've relaxed the body. We've detached to any outcomes. And we're in the now. And we're focused on our breath, our divine positive energy. So you're outside the body and you look at yourself, the body, in this easy chair, the God within holding you, and you're totally relaxed. You have no attachments, nothing. And you're this master manifesting magnet, which you always have been, always will be. And you look and you see through the center of your body are these vibrant 7 different colored wheels of light, energy vortexes, chakras. And they're from head to toe, starting at the base of your spine, going all the way to the top of your head. And you notice that in each one is a flower with a geometrical shape in the center of it. And there's 7 flowers, all different shapes, and 7 different geometrical shapes inside each one of them, all different. Vibrant colors, nothing like you'd see here on Earth. These are just far beyond any colors you'd see here on Earth. These are etheric points in your body that connect you to the astral plane, to the spiritual plane. All the particles of existence, they interplay. They're connected to all your organs, all your emotions, all your energy. So you start with the red wheel of light. This is the root chakra, the Muladhara. This is directed to your career, money mindset, sense of belonging. It deals with survival, and it's blocked by fear. And then we'll go to the orange wheel of light. This deals with pleasure. This is the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. This is our sexuality and pleasure. And it's blocked by guilt. And we move to the golden yellow wheel of light. This is willpower. This is the solar plexus chakra, the Manipura. This is your personal power. And then it is blocked by shame. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is the heart chakra, the Anahata, love, relationships, self-acceptance, blocked by grief. And then we move to the blue wheel of light. This is the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our self-expression, our communication. This deals with our truth, blocked by lies. And then we move to the indigo wheel of light. This is the third eye chakra, the Ajna. This is our intuition, sense of purpose. Deals with insight, blocked by illusion. And then we move to the crown chakra, the violet wheel of light, the Sahasrara. This is literally the connection to the divine, the cosmic energy, blocked by ego attachment. There's that word again, attachment. So we notice that we have our divine positive energy joined with the God force love light energy flowing through these 7 energy point chakras, all the way top of our head like a fountain. You can see it as it springs up above, over our heads and back down around through our tailbone, back up through again. Perpetual. And these 2 energies, divine positive energy, our breath, and our God force love light energy, sits at the top of our head. And we hold it there briefly. We are light, we are love, we are God. And in that short period of time, we compress and condense these energies into pure liquid energy, omnipotently powerful, and release it over our pineal glands. Now, the pineal gland is very important to us in these physical forms. It is the gateway to all the connections, all the particles of existence. None of us have a fully functioning one yet. So in your heart, minds, motion picture, of which you're the producer, the director, the choreographer, the actor, the actress, you're everything. You see this pineal gland, however you view it. I view it as a ball, green ball of rosebud. And when I release this omnipotently powerful liquid energy over it, it instantaneously transforms into this massive, fully bloomed rose, multicolored petals, and this fragrance that is indescribable, wonderful. And it sends out these waves of, it's a shimmering kind of effect that just enters you. And you're filled with this tremendously deep peace. There's no words that you can describe it with. It is a total surrender. It is a total embrace of the God that you are, and it is eternal. And you discover that it isn't coming from the rose, it is you. It is the true God, the divine source, the source creator within you. And you find yourself connected to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. You're connected to it all. You're one with the entire ocean of existence. All particles, everything. You feel it. You flow with it. You are never separate from it. Nor shall you ever be. And feel this through the heart mind. We are consciously aware because of this. We are consciously aware that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And these bodies that we're in, and the higher self, the soul, the spirit, the God source, the pure consciousness, the heart mind, the ego mind, the unconscious, the subconscious mind, all one. We also know consciously that we are heaven on this earth. And at every step we take, we are creating paradise. And we've learned to shine the light that is within us outward. This is the God source. You, each of us, are the God source. And we flood this entire planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it, with this love. We just saturate all of our brothers and sisters from head to toe, inside and out, whether they're awake or asleep. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, we're flooding this love light energy everywhere. It's eternal, it's always. Now see that, feel that in your heart, mind's motion picture. What does it look like to you? How does it feel to you? See it. feel it. So this earth that we're all on, in, above, and below, it glows. It is filled with billions of gods shining their love light everywhere, saturating everything. So it's a God planet that glows with the light of the God source. Pure, deep, eternal love. Fantastic. It's magna glorious. Spectacular. We're all part of the collective consciousness. Some of us are awake, some of us are not so awake, and some of us are totally asleep. So we're communicating with all of those who are awake. So all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, to form this circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all light energy beings out there, everywhere, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, form the circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet Earth Gaia Arya in this now. And they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. And they're with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, galactics, the celestials, from everywhere, in all existence, uncountable numbers. We're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, to form this circle of light. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with, over 1,000 travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. The ones that we kind of know are the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Arcturians, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Abion, and many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet Earth Gaia Arya. And they come in the billions, and they are with us now, consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings that have chosen to be housed in the following forms, on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia Arya, in this now, in this meditation. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of a circle of light. And in the trillions, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configuration, which we've never seen before. And the smidgen that we are familiar with, somewhat, fairies, sprites, elves, gnomes, dwarves, trees, trolls, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And in the trillions, they are with us now consciously. We're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand. All. Full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we are all one. And we are all God. And we are all love. And our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. And it continues to intensify. And it continues to expand. We all immediately form a circle of light. This is our God love light energy. It is each and every one of us. It is what we are within these bodies. This light is so brilliant and so bright, it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system alone to even come close to its radiance. And we're flooding it perpetually, never ending, saturating head to toe all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value universe on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Feel it through the heart-mind. See it. We begin to ascend above this planet. As we do, we come into contact with a massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. Trillions of little teeny mirrors reflecting all of us gathered in this meditation. All teachers, all students, all learning endlessly from each other, with each other. Magnificent. We're then met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that reminds each and every one of us we are the power of healing. We are then met with the purple, violet, blue flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We're then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that from head to toe inside now we are imbued with a white fire armor. This is from our God source within us, our love light energy. It cannot, we are protected always, eternally. Cannot be violated. No demons, no possessions, no entities, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Nothing can attach to us. Nothing can inhabit us. Nothing can harm us. Period. Ever. But only you. Only you have the power that if you decide, whether consciously or unconsciously, to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through greed, hatred, anger, envy, deceit, manipulation, dishonesty, fear, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. If you do decide to do this, then you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that reminds each and every one of us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, send them to pure consciousness where they are completely gone, vaporized permanently. We are then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can literally cleanse and purify the area where all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony and frequency into the highest of the highest high of deep eternal love and gratitude. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain in the rainbow. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the animals. We are the forests. We are the trees. We are the soils. We're everything. So the next time that you view a sun setting, a sun rising, anything that sets you in awe of the beauty that you're viewing, the majesty of it, it is you. You are the majesty. You are the beauty. You're the divine perfection. You're the God. We continue to descend above this planet. As we do, some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above the body if we're carrying physical form. And we immediately come into contact with this massive crystalline light tower, larger than this solar system. We created this tower. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. It has multicolored rings of light surrounding a big golden white ball of sparkling light. Each of them are sending out waves, saturating us all. The golden ball, the golden white ball of light that sends waves out to us is deep eternal love. All of the other colored bands of light sending out these vibrations that are penetrating us, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, well-being, humbleness, wealth, abundance, prosperity, bliss, joy, peace, endless. And we discover that all of this is a mere reflection of the God source within each and every one of us. At the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing, as it's literally flooding and saturating, bathing all of us head to toe, inside and out, with pure, deep, eternal love. And we are the drops of this golden ocean. And we hold the essence of this golden ocean. The ocean is the drops are the ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It sets center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It houses almost 1,300 meditations and perpetual motion. All of us gathered, hundreds of millions of us, on and off world for this meditation, liberation of this planet Earth Gaia. Flooding and saturating each and every single one of us perpetually, non-stop, continuously. Endlessly. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, all of this intent, all of this deep internal love and gratitude. See it, feel it in your heart, mind. Experience it. Feel ecstatic that there is no end to this life. That when you have reached on one peak, suddenly another peak starts giving you challenges, a higher one, a more arduous climb, a more dangerous reach, and when you will have reached the other peak, another peak, peaks upon peaks, it is an eternal Himalaya of life. You are born with a tremendous possibility of intelligence. You are born with a light within you. Listen to the still small voice within, and that will guide you. Nobody else can guide you. You are utterly irreplaceable. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. take an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move slowly and easily. The greatest courage is to drop the mind aside. The bravest man is who can see the world without the barrier of the mind, just as it is. It is tremendously different, utterly beautiful. There is nobody who is inferior, and there is nobody who is superior. There are no distinctions. When we give of our attention, we give of our soul. One moment of pure attention is worth a pound of gold. And remember how powerful each of us are. That there is enough energy in a single cubic meter of space to boil the oceans of this entire world. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and the following morning. And we will return here March 10th, 2021, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern for our Time for Change call. And at 6 p.m., I will be on the Mark Z podcast. I was invited to make clarity with the med beds that are being talked about in our celestial chamber.